Hey guys, Dov here with some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. The Lizardmen in the desert going to be facing off against the Skaven, so definitely in for an interesting, tough potential matchup here. We've got Gor-ROCK leading the way, Red Crest, regular skink cohort as well. So a nice wide build, I like it a lot. Couple Feral Bastildons, I believe, yes, two of them. We've also got some Cold One Riders. Yeah, the Umbral Tide, very interesting choice here. We'll talk about why. Cold One Spear Riders, two of them for some anti-large mobile support. As for the Skaven, Warp Lightning Cannon, we've got Poison Wind Mortars, Rattling Guns for armor-piercing missiles, Rat Ogres, an Assassin, Council Guard, and plenty of chaff as you would expect. Leading the way, I believe, is Lord Skrolk. Yeah, he's hidden there in the Council Guard, very appropriately. And that's it, basically. So let's talk a little bit about the Umbral Tide here. Their Regiment of Renown trait is that they have stock, which is just excellent, and the fire damage certainly good against things like hell pits and, so forth. One kind of interesting thing to note about them, yeah, because of the stock, it does make them a lot more useful against the Skaven than, let's say, regular salamanders. They can get into range without getting absolutely blasted by, mortars, warp lightning cannons. Currently, they are working on these red crests, which is a decent enough target. There's no Jezzails or anything else as well to pick off Gor-ROCK, so that's quite nice. But you can see they are going to pull up into range here. Once they pop into visibility, they're going to start to take damage from the Warp Lightning Cannon. Looks like it's actually focusing on the Skink Priest right now, which is a good target, but they'll kind of take some collateral damage. Manticore Summon popped up. As you can see, the frontline engagement getting underway all across the field. The Lizardmen are going to be pushing the Skaven chaff off. For the most part, I mean, the regular skinks won't trade super cost effectively here, but certainly with the support of the Bastildon, it's going to be good. But you can see, oh man, just all of the shots scattering in the air as the Rattling Guns immediately open up and just gat this this poor Feral Manticore. It drops down directly onto the Council Guard, so he's having a pretty bad day. Skaven might be able to stabilize this flank, but we do have the mobile Cold One Riders trying to get in. Looks like the Rat Ogres will be responding there, but this is what I wanted to show you. Skaven artillery is famously large and easy to hit, and I don't know if artillery pieces technically count as large or infantry model size or whatever, but regardless, very appropriately, the Umbral Tide are going to absolutely burn down this Warp Lightning Cannon here. It's even the Regiment of Renown, it could zap. So honestly, just that in and of itself has probably close to paid for the Umbral Tide. I'd have to check. I believe they're both 1,300, I want to say. So that is basically paying for itself right there. And they're going to get gatted a little bit by the Gatling guns. Sorry, the Rattling guns. But even still, having done that, they've already paid for themselves and shut down a very important high-value unit. Now, taking a look at the rest of the battlefield, Feral Bastildon helping to push forward. The red-crested skinks here actually trading okay against Rat Ogres. It's not an engagement you would really think about too much. They're both kind of DPS units, right? So they'll punch each other pretty hard, but both with Frenzy, the poison certainly will help with the Red Crest, and the fact they have a lot of unit models also helps. And the Rat Ogres, I mean, again, the armor piercing doesn't matter, but the low defense versus high attack matters for both units, right? So, Rattling Guns opening up on the second Summon Feral Manticore here. The Feral Manticores have just been having a little bit of a bad time trying to get into contact, but Gor-ROCK absolutely chatting through in the front line. He's racked up, what, 16 kills so far? Needs to be careful not to get Rattling Gun too bad, but it does look like the Cold One Spear Riders are able to start breaking through. Been held in reserve up until this point. They're completely healthy, but now finding an opportunity to cleanly engage on these weapons teams here, tie them down, start to do a ton of damage. I'm not sure what exactly has beat down Skrolk either, how he got so injured. Maybe one of the Manticores came in, or maybe it was Gor-ROCK himself, but regardless, oh man, that menacing walk from Gor-ROCK. Dun-dun, dun-dun. It's basically like Jaws, but, with a lizard on the ground. Skrolk is going to go ahead and summon an entire unit of clan rats, but look at that. Gor-ROCK cares not. Well, okay, he might care a little bit and start beating them up, because, he's hungry, he needs to eat. And Skrolk's going to bravely run away with that, and leave his weapon teams high and dry to die against those Cold One Spear Riders. Looks like the Rat Ogres are rushing back over try and help, but again, both Feral Bastildons basically completely healthy, and all of the missile units being shut down. Not great for the Skaven, because they needed those missile units to take out the Feral Bastildons. I mean, yeah, the Rat Ogres can do okay, but now the Umbral Tide proving even more worthwhile. utilizing their anti-large flaming damage to take out a bunch of these rat ogres. That is a very effective use of them. Of course, their lack of AP not mattering so much against rat ogres. Oop. The accuracy can be a little bit of an issue, though, but there we go. A direct hit actually takes down a unit model there. Very nicely done. And, yeah, Skrulk still doing his best to avoid Gor-ROCK. He's probably thrown both of his Liber Bubonicuses. I don't know. Gor-ROCK is still alive, though. Absolute Chad and champ. Tried and true. Want to be throwing his shield bash around and just bopping these Skaven on the head. So it's just a matter of time before Skrulk meets his end. And the Umbral Tide explosion damage also very good against Skaven infantry. So I love the pick of the Umbral Tide here. They actually did very, very well. And I do think that they are a tool that's pretty essential in this matchup. I haven't actually played this matchup that much myself. I played Lizardmen some. I don't play them super often. But here we go. Gor-ROCK now matched up against Lord Skrulk, although it's not the best situation for Gor-ROCK because he's also surrounded by the Council Guard. But at the same time, will he be able to finish off Lord Skrulk? Skrulk's not a complete pushover in terms of being a combatant, but it looks like, unfortunately, Gor-ROCK actually routes away here. The Rat Boy able to get one more summon to keep things online. It's a super, super close game into the late game here. But enraged Cold One Spear Riders coming through to take all of your lunch money. And yeah, the Red Crests are going to be able to chase off a lot of these Skaven units because of their fast speed and poison. Likewise, the Cold One Spear Riders can come back, start to chase some routing units. And here, this Assassin actually just gets like circle beaten by just a handful of Cold One Riders who, because of their high weapon strength and high mass, are just consistently knocking him over. And that 50 weapon strength, because they're in a surround, some of them will be bypassing his melee defense, right? So that's one of the reasons single entities fighting sometimes when they get surrounded by a unit with high weapon strength, they can lose out. It looks like he is going to be able to actually win just by leadership there, but still, bounce power not looking great for the Skaven at this moment, as Gor-ROCK's able to recover his leadership and start to kind of reunify with his Feral Bastillodons there. So looking good, looking very, very good. Old One Spear Riders staying mobile, trying to stay away from those Council Guard, obviously. The Council Guard are now going to go after the Feral Bastillodons, and still yet more summons of Clan Rats from Lord Skrulk, but here come these Red Crests, are ready to get a good charge and hopefully clean up a little bit of damage. They are going to take some damage because, again, only 19 melee defense, and the Clan Rats do have, like 20-something, 24 melee attacks. They will get some hits in there, but nice rear charge from the Sallies. Umbral Tide coming in. Oh yeah, breathing point-blank fire all over the Clan Rats. Doesn't actually do all that much damage, but oh, this is potentially bad. An Assassin's Trophy goes on Gor-ROCK, and he might get picked off by the Assassin here, but oh, he gets a nasty hit on the Assassin as well as he's kind of routing away, and the Assassin's down to 300 hit points. Looks like one of the Feral Bastillodons did get routed away by the Council Guard. I don't know if... yeah, I'm not sure if the Lizardmen actually have enough to finish the Council Guard here, but Skrulk does get terrified away by the Feral Bastillodon. I guess it all kind of comes down to if the Lizardmen have the tools to finish off the Council Guard or not. But here, these Cold One Spear Riders really need to come try and bail out Gor-ROCK if they can. If they can keep Gor-ROCK from getting killed, like actually killed, that will make a big difference in the late game in terms of leadership, especially for like this Bastillodon. Skink Priest comes back from route, so some Flocks of Doom might be able to do some DPS to the Council Guard there. But let's see, Gor-ROCK hasn't taken a hit yet from the Assassin that's chasing, and the Assassin actually routes to the Cold One Riders as they get a couple hits there with their charge bonus. 37 charge bonus with 48 weapon strength. They're able to get a couple hits, and again, even if Gor-ROCK doesn't come back from route, that's fine. As long as he doesn't actually die here, that will be potentially decisive. There will still be a leadership debuff for a partial, for a decent amount of time. I forget, it's like a minute or so when Gor-ROCK routes, but when a leader actually dies, like when a lord actually dies, then, oh, but he actually comes back right at the edge of the map with 68 hit points left. Gor-ROCK, just the absolute Chad of them all. Less than 100 HP. Yeah, I'll just stay. I think we got this one, guys. And all of a sudden, the Council Guard being led on a wild goose chase by the Skink Priest. He is much faster than them, so he can stay out in front. I say much faster. 46 versus 38, yeah, much faster. So at this point, with the red crests, especially with their armor-piercing damage of the Cold One Spear Riders, we've got 2 Feral Bastildons and Gor-ROCK, so literally everything that's left here does armor-piercing damage. And yeah, the Clan Rats will try and reunify just to get a little bit of numbers here, but looking really nice for the Lizardmen as they move in. A Flock of Doom immediately terrifies away. Curse of Onrare, actually, no Flock of Doom. Curse of Onrare to debuff the melee attack of the Council Guard, and that is a really smart move, meaning that all of these very low health units are much less likely to actually take hits and then, you know, rout away. You can see Gor-ROCK standing close for leadership, not really getting involved, as is the case with the Skink Priest there, using both their Cold-Bloodeds to try and keep some units fighting here, the Cold One Spear Riders and the Feral Bastildon units that are lowest on leadership, so some great usage of abilities there, a super close game, and Gor-ROCK is able to take home the win against the Foul Skaven. So awesome replay. Huge thanks to Killswitch for sending that one in. And yeah, great stuff. I love the pick of the the Salamander Hunting Pack here, the Umbral Tide specifically, and they were able to do some really nice damage. Wide skink builds do tend to work decently well in this matchup. I like to have usually some melee attack buffs go alongside them. Gor-ROCK, I unfortunately don't think does he have any? I'd have to double check, but regardless, I like that wide skink build. Likewise, the Cold One Spear Riders able to get in, shut down the weapon teams, ended up being very decisive. Some of the Rat Ogres were able to get some good damage done, and the Rattling Guns did a great job mowing down the Summoned Manticores there. Council Guard racked up 90 kills, and the Clan Rats honestly traded pretty okay with the Skink cohort, especially for Skrolk being an absolute legend, summoning like, what is that, like 5-6 Clan Rats? I didn't count exactly, but just keeping up the wave of Skaven, so a lot of those kills are actually unaccounted for because of the summoned units, but very fun stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching a true classic. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.